Hello? 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 Is there anybody here? Hey! Hey! Is anybody here? It should be blinking, yeah.
Everything is live.
We're live?
We are live.
Okay.
Live right now?
Okay. Clap. You get the clap. Danielle has the clap. Oh, sorry.
I do not have the clap.
Okay. You ready?
I guess so.
Okay. You guess so.
I'm here. I arrived.
You're here. I'm here too. We got a special guest named Rama who's here as well.
Hi.
Where is here?
We are at 1908, a little cafe on Main Street in Camrose, Alberta. I absolutely love this place.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. We'll take some TikToks later on and give you the whole rundown of everything and get you a look at everything.
Yeah.
These wonderful people that live upstairs renovated this whole place. They live where they work, so there's no escape.
That's convenient.
So they were grateful enough to let us film in here, which is absolutely beautiful.
It used to be the courthouse, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, very well. We should do some research, and we'll put it right there and right over there, and it'll tell where we're at. If you're in the video, or you're just listening to us, you don't know where there is, and that's not important. So. But anyway, we're here today drinking up coffee and mochas.
Really good coffee at that.
Oh, it's fantastic coffee.
Yes.
If you're ever in Camrose, Alberta, Canada, is that good enough? North America, then. Yeah. So swing on by downtown for 1908 Tea House and Coffee.
Deliciousness.
Coffee
Bistro.
what?
Bistro.
Coffee Bistro. It's a
That's
bistro.
the
They have fantastic ice cream and some great pastries and great coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I imagine their tea's great if you drank tea. But
Yeah.
I don't typically drink tea.
My
so.
son loves tea, and he loves the London Fogs.
How old's your son?
He's 6.
Is London Fogs an ideal treat for your son?
He thinks so.
London fogs in the morning.
Yeah.
Steak for dinner.
And then a train video sometime during the day.
So you,
Typical success.
anything go on in the last week for you? Anything interesting? Other than your 14 children and
I don't
your...
have 14 children. I
Well, it
have-
feels like that.
well, it felt like that because they all very kindly took turns being sick, but
Right.
like different kinds of sick. So one had my youngest had a fever for like 3 days. My feral child was puking, so that was fun. My little old man was just not feeling 100% and whiny and just lethargic.
Your little man?
My little old man.
Your little old big
Little
man?
London fog drinker.
My little London fog drinker.
Oh, okay.
And then my oldest, she actually came out unscathed, so
Oh, that's good.
yeah. Actually, no, she had a sore throat, but like, so yeah. All different, and I survived.
I think we should all get together and buy Danielle a child care kit. It'll be 4 rolls of duct tape, a bottle of wine, a vial of Valium, and
Chloroform. I mean,
chloroform, yeah.
You mean
and
lavender?
and a subscription to Hallmark movies.
Oh, no, not Hallmark. No.
Oh, you're not into that?
No.
Okay.
no, she needs the Peter Jackson extended cut version of The Lord of the Rings that hasn't come out yet, but he wants to make one.
Oh, so no, we have a tradition in our house that we binge watch a series or whatever, every Christmas.
Yeah.
We used to do Star Wars, but we've just stopped. We got through that. We did James Bond series one year. Mission Impossible was last year. We actually haven't decided what we're doing this year.
I highly recommend you start off with The Hobbit
I've
and then go through all of it.
I just never got into those. I think they're probably one of the better series out there, universes. But I find them slow and not. I'm trying to be so polite. I find them boring. I'm sorry. I find them boring. So Rama, what do you have? Would you do anything this week? Anything interesting?
This week, anything interesting? Nothing really that interesting is happening. I'm babysitting some cats right now for the next 7 days. It started off with 10 days, and I love cats. They're my favorite house pets.
Nice.
So I'm really, really happy about that because I got to take the cats to my apartment instead of actually going to the place of my acquaintance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Acquaintance.
Acquaintance.
That's very suspicious.
No. It's because she's my friend's roommate, and we haven't known each other until she started looking for somebody to sit with the cats. So
you set up a rendezvous to transplant the cats from your acquaintance to the new place.
my apartment. Absolutely, and that's what happened, and I'm pretty excited about that.
What kind of cats are they?
One of them, I know one of them is Turkish.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the other one. I'm gonna say half Siamese.
Okay.
And the other half, I'm not sure what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what color are these cats?
Tuxedo cat, first one.
Okay.
Yeah. And the second one is, I'm gonna say hazel and gray. Which is so
Those are
pretty.
pretty
And
looking
the
cats.
tuxedo cat is 4 years old, and his name is Herbert. I call him Boo Boo.
Herbert.
Yeah, I feel like, well, that's the name he came with, but I call him, in my apartment, I call him Boo Boo.
Oh.
Yeah, and the other one, her name is Emma. She's 2 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Emma, I think, has anxiety.
Oh. Well, she's not in her own home. And
I think so, yeah, and I mean, she was a little bit anxious when she was at her place, so I think it's just that. It's
just an anxious cat.
Yeah.
If it's a cat, it probably deserves it.
Hey, Mike, I cannot tolerate bad cat talk.
Oh, I'm a dog person. Although cats, I like all fuzzy creatures to some degree, but cats are just born assholes, and that's the problem.
I'll tell you, and this is why I love them. The thing is, I am also a dog person, and I love dogs so much. And the bigger, the cuter to me. But I love cats so much because I cannot keep up with dogs' energy. The energy that a dog has, the almost everyday cheerfulness is not something I can put up with.
Toxic positivity. Oh my God.
You know, and they are always cheerful. They always want you around. They want all the attention all the time, and I can't put up with that. It's too much.
It's like that's how I feel about Danielle sometimes. So cheery all the goddamn time.
But with a cat, they only want attention when they want it.
Yeah.
And they are more independent. So, you know, you don't have to take them on walks. They can just sit in a house in a corner and just be there. They can come sit in your lap while you're working. They can. I remember my cat back home would come. His name is Marco.
Hello.
He's a baby. He's a baby. My dad wanted to call him Marco. based on that La Miserable.
Oh,
Yeah.
by Victor Hugo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that novel. So we decided if he was male, we're gonna name him Marco. If he was female, we're gonna name him Cosette.
Oh, I love that.
And his name was Marco. We had him for about 7 to 8 years. He was 2 weeks old when we got him. But last summer, not this one, 2023, there was a fire in our apartment, in our house, and we lost him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, nobody wants that to happen to cats.
Yeah, so we don't talk about it. My family is now, we remember Marco as if he's still here.
Yeah.
It's very hard, but yeah, it's just, I love cats so much. And whenever I'd be working on my laptop, he used to come and just close my laptop for me and just leave. And I love that behavior. Dogs would never do that. Like, dogs are too good. Like, they are actually good boys. I feel like a dog could actually kill me in my sleep.
Oh, actually, a cat would be more likely. I was actually watched a documentary on EMTs and medical. A cat will eat you before.
See, if they eat me, that is okay.
Well,
I just don't want to.
Oh, you don't want them to kill you?
Yeah.
The cat is more likely, the cat will eat your face first.
Yeah, I love cats. I love dogs. I'm just more inclined to have a cat for sure.
I've always kind of wanted to get like a kitten and a puppy together, and then you can almost
do
forget
that.
about one.
Yeah.
Because the cat will entertain the dog, But I mean, we had a border collie lab, Athena, and we lost her last Christmas. But she's 14. She lived a long life, and she never knew a life outside of Kathy and Logan and I.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things. That was the first time something that long and that attached. As a kid, we lost our pets, but I don't remember when Freddie came or when he went to the farm to play. He's still there now. We had Lucky, and I don't know when she left. I think we moved. Cookie the cat.
Did they go to the
Yeah, well, Cookie the cat is somewhere in Manitoba now, because when we moved out to Alberta, she got out of the car and ran away, and Dad said, I ain't running after her, and we left her.
There's this thing on the internet about hamsters that every person who's ever had a hamster. Sorry, that was my phone.
That's okay.
I'm just gonna. Very unprofessional of me. I'm so sorry.
Speaking of
Wait, this is a perfect time for an awkward pause.
With hamsters, I think, so we had 2 hamsters. My cousins used to come to visit us in the summer, and they're my age. And we're the oldest cousins. And our grandpa, he got us 2 hamsters, and we called them Bijou and Misha, or something like
those are
that.
cute
Yeah,
names.
and they were so cute, and they would play on the wheel and everything. And it's not funny, but humor is a coping mechanism. One time, we wanted to take them from my grandparents' house to my house.
Yeah.
And we put them in the car, and it was a 5-minute drive. Just a 5-minute drive, and it wasn't even a hot day, okay? We put them in the car.
No.
Yeah, and then they were alive when we put them. 5 minutes later, we go to the back. My grandpa opens the door. He wants to take them out, and he just looks at us, and he does not let us see them. And he's like, go in. Maybe I should take them in later. And we never saw Bijou.
They
and
went to
Misha
the
again.
same farm with Freddie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to tell my hamster
Please.
story.
Okay.
Okay, so we got a hamster, and we had just finished watching The Rescuers, and there's Bianca and Bernard. And so we got our little hamster, and the pet person was like, this is a boy. And we're like, oh, we're going to name him Bernard. And then my dad was so upset that we named this hamster Bernard. And as it turns out, when you're 3 years old, you don't actually know the name of your parents. I just assumed his name was Dad. His name is Bernard.
I didn't think that was where it was going.
So we have Bernard the hamster, and then Bernard, my dad. And then 2 years later, we got a dog, and we named her Belle. And this hamster was just so mean. We would put the hamster in the hamster ball and let the dog just chase the hamster around.
That would be dangerous with Athena.
Well, she was a miniature schnauzer, so she was like trying.
Oh, so they were not far off size.
Yeah. Well, she's like this miniature schnauzer. She was like the runt of the litter, so she was tiny, but she would they're ratters, so they chase after anything that's a rodent. So she's chasing this poor hamster around the house. I don't know what happened to this poor hamster.
No, your mind repressed it.
Probably just one day just wasn't there. I was like, okay.
Yeah, went to the farm with the other farmers.
What happened to the hamster? Okay.
So now, Rama is an Augustana student.
Yeah.
So she's telling these wonderful stories, and now my mind is going back because Rama was born in
Syria.
Syria.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my nationality to this day is Palestinian. I was born to a Palestinian family who sought refuge in Syria in 1948, and yeah, so on my passport it says Palestinian Syrian.
Okay.
That's actually what it says. And I was born there, my parents were born there, and I was raised there up until I was 12. And then we moved to United Arab Emirates, more known as, well, United Arab Emirates is a country more known as Dubai.
Can you say that slower?
United Arab Emirates.
United Arab
Emirates.
Emirates.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Emirates are just like governorates, or is it governorates? Governorates? Something like that, or provinces. They're just smaller and closer together.
So, we got United States is a republic.
Yeah.
We are a, what is Canada? Technically we're a colony, but we're not. We're something else. And then, and Emirates is another thing.
Yeah.
Same thing, but different. Another
Exactly.
version of
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that-
instead of saying provinces, you say Emirates.
Okay.
Emirates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I graduated high school from there, from UAE, from Dubai, and I've been here for a while now. I'm done as an Augustana student.
Yay!
But I just do work right now, stuff like that, and I take audit classes.
I want to backtrack just a little bit here, and you were talking about hamsters,
Yeah.
cats, and you grew up with pets all the time, right?
Yeah.
All your life?
Yeah, for a
Ish.
while, we've always had a pet story, I think, growing up. Yeah, they were just more seasonal than they were permanent. Up until we got Marco. Yeah.
Well, you were telling that story, and I was thinking, because we're talking Syria is where
Yeah.
you were growing up at that time. What was that like? Whether not just pets, but
Yeah.
you what kind of a house did you live in? What kind of a neighborhood was it?
Right. So I grew up in different cities and different neighborhoods. But there was one main city, and it was the city I grew up in mostly. The name is Hama. And in Hama, there is a neighborhood that used to be the camp where Palestinians came. It's called the camp.
Okay.
Later on.
That's original.
Yeah. And later on, it became the neighborhood for the Palestinian communities. It's a very big neighborhood, very big. It's like its own smaller city within the city.
Okay.
And that's where Palestinian Syrians are, you would find them usually emerging from there and then spreading to the rest of Syria, right?
Was it a pretty connected community?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, community is still one of the biggest things for me, and this is why I love a place like Camrose more than I love individualistic cities, because you'll find community everywhere in my childhood upbringing and even in my early adulthood right now. We were pretty connected. Everybody knew everybody, which again has its positives and
Pros
negatives.
and cons.
Absolutely. But I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons when it comes to that. When Palestinians were displaced, I don't think we would have survived without community and having one another, for sure. I mean, we hear, you know, it's not so long ago. My grandma and grandparents are still alive, and they tell us the story of how they grew up in these camps that were actually camps around that time.
Oh.
So like
Right.
actual like sorry.
Yeah.
Like actual like tents,
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
a
Exactly,
a
not
building.
a
Okay.
building, no. So
Is
they
there-
were.
Is there a descriptive or an adjective towards these camps? Were I know I'm getting at. I'm trying to be as
So they started off. I'll save you. I'll save you that. I'll save you
saving
adjective there.
discomfort.
Yeah. No, it's not that I really hold so much pride in where I come from and the way I grew up. And even in the stories that I hear of how my grandparents grew up in that camp, so they were actual tents. That's
Yeah.
how it started, right? And they were in the outskirts of the cities within Syria or Lebanon or any place they've went to, because those are the ones surrounding
Yeah.
the northern Palestine area. And then the UN came, and then UNICEF, and you know all these organizations under the UN or UNRWA, the biggest one that we have. They all came with not only tents, but you know they started building actual homes for these people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But these homes were not supposed to be permanent at all. These homes were always meant to be lived in temporarily until
Yeah.
we got the
Just
chance
for
to
now.
get back.
Like
Yeah.
it's like this is a just
Exactly.
for now.
And so the more, well, you know, the generation my grandparents started growing up in these camps, and they saw the transition from an actual tent to a more constructed neighborhood, and then electricity would be there, water would be there more permanently and stuff like that. And they started building a life there. And the biggest thing you'll find in these stories, and I'm making them so short right now, I'm saying the highlights, but the biggest thing, the most common thing you'll find in these stories, and ask any Palestinian kid growing up either in Lebanon or Syria, is education. These families focused on education in ways I cannot put that much emphasis on enough.
Yeah.
So the generation of my grandparents would grow up very educated. They got their diplomas, they got their degrees, and they started working. And so they became professors and teachers, and they would spread around the country, and they would spread around. Not only that, the government would also ask them to go to other Arab countries in the region to teach them, to teach in their schools for a bit and then come back. And so they started going to these places, saving money, sending it back home, and building these neighborhoods. Yeah.
Okay.
So, your grandparents. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your grandparents. I'm going to speculate are around that 75-year-old age.
Yeah.
So, and just because it's fascinating, but now we're talking, 75 years old, so they're growing up in these Palestine camps
Right.
outside of Syria.
No, inside.
Oh, inside Syria?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, outside of the cities.
Yeah, but now they are inside the cities because of expansion and
Oh, yeah.
so
Okay.
they became part of them pretty much immediately.
So we're talking, we're talking post-World War II?
Yeah.
So just
much.
after that, this was the 40s.
Yeah.
And I just want to give that picture of when. So we're talking grandparents in 45, 50,
More specifically in 1948.
oh, right after
Yeah.
the war.
Yeah.
And you were saying these are, why was Palestine in these camps? Are they nomadic, or are they?
No, so they were.
This is part of the big
this
story.
term. I use this term very carefully. They were displaced. I mean, we do have documents. Not only my family, but other families as well that I know of. We do have these documents that shows we have our lands there. My first memory I have of Palestine, or talking about Palestine, is a key actually to our house there. that my dad's grandma got with her when they were being forced to leave. So they were displaced.
Yeah.
That was the
Displaced by whom?
But like, why?
Why and by
Right.
who? Yeah.
So there was the British mandate over Palestine for years. And then there was a Zionist entity that, claimed religious claims to the land.
Okay.
But
Okay.
this is a whole other topic that I don't think I'm gonna make it. I'm giving it a fair share of time by making it very condensed right now. Yeah.
We literally could probably spend 8 hours sitting here
Way
going
more
into the
years.
depth. Oh, yeah.
Like they spent
Into the depths,
70
so
years discussing this. Yeah.
I'm just trying to get.
General why?
Right.
I want to get the cliff notes so that anybody that's listening can create that idea. So we know it's 48, the war's just over. England, Britain has making these mandates.
Yeah, I mean, also one of the things I remember is the Balfour Declaration. So the Balfour Declaration is one of the ministers. I'm forgetting exactly if he was a prime minister or if he was a minister of something in the UK.
Okay.
His last name is Balfour. So the Balfour Declaration, and you can look it up online, is declaring the land of Palestine to the Zionist entity. However, they use the term Palestine.
Okay.
In the Balfour Declaration, and I feel like that it is ironic to me.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that I don't know, and I would never, we have the modern Palestine-Israeli thing going on, which I don't want to touch.
Yeah.
In general, I'll get your thoughts on that if you have any, but I don't know where it's going with that, but I just wanted to.
And I want to emphasize something, because there's always that misunderstanding that it is religious.
Yeah.
I really want to emphasize the point that I grew up with Jewish neighborhoods. Being beside ours as well. I grew up with Jewish friends. I grew up with Christian friends from different sects of Christianity, and we grew up going to each other's temples. And I also want to emphasize the importance of the Levant as an area for the Abrahamic religions, the three of them, and how diverse it is when it comes to that. So just understand that these people are also in the mix. It's not this versus that.
Oh, and I was going to say, I don't think you've said it out loud.
Yeah.
What faith do you follow?
Oh, I'm Muslim.
Muslim.
Yeah.
And I don't think we said that.
Yeah.
So now we can follow into this the Jewish, Muslim, and Christians, and you're all sharing the same.
Absolutely.
Area.
I mean, in Damascus alone, and again, Damascus is the capital of Syria, and it is the oldest inhabited city in the world. There are Jewish neighborhoods there that go way, way back, and my grandpa grew up with friends who would go to the temple or synagogue with hachams, and that's what the Jewish. It's like a priest, but Jewish.
Oh, rabbi.
Yeah, rabbi. Yeah, thank you. I forgot the word. But we call them, in Arabic, they're called hacham.
Okay.
You're supposed to be
Yeah. Hacham. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No offense. I'm just trying to emulate people. So these, we lived harmoniously. And shared our stories and our faiths and our I shouldn't say because I was not there.
But that's actually the consensus.
So what happened in North America? The rhetorical question that is not meant to be answered.
What happened in North America?
Yes.
And it was not all very pretty.
So we could live in this era, but let's. I want to fast forward a little bit. we're going to jump up a little modern times. I met Rama because she was part of the production, the Tricks and Treats production we had at the Bailey. And throughout all this, Rama and I sat down and we started talking about, I don't know what started, I think I asked about your scarf.
Yeah.
And it's always curious because we have, oh geez, I can't remember all the names. You have the hijabi?
Yeah, hijab.
Hijab?
Yeah.
And you call it a scarf.
Yeah.
In the males, we got turbans and we got all that stuff. And then that.
There's a niqab, there's a burqa, there's...
Burqa, that's the other one. Yeah, it's just and I found it fascinating. But then me and Rama just sat there and we branched out into this whole world of cultural relatability and in questions, and I more than anything I'm curious, and it's always wonderful for me when I can look at somebody of a different culture, of a different faith and everything else, and ask the questions we always want to ask.
Yeah.
Is like, why can't I see your hair?
Yeah.
And all that sort of stuff. So there's the setup. See how it goes? No, just kidding. So we jump ahead. Let's jump ahead to...
Well, that brings us to an end of this episode of Raging Imagination. I want to thank you if you stuck around this long to listen. But I'd also like to remind you that this is part one. Rama is a fascinating individual, Palestinian, born in Syria, moved to Dubai, and so on. Now she's in Canada, living the dreams, loving Camrose, loving Canada. So, this is our last episode before our Christmas special. Hopefully, that will be out before Christmas or by Christmas. We will call that Becoming Santa. So, I want to thank you all once again, and I want you to check us out. And remember, if you want to contact us, give us some information, give us some ideas, make a comment on the show, correct us. We're not perfect. I do some Googling, and I do some of these fun checks, and hopefully they're all correct. Or perhaps they just inspire you to look a little further. But by all means, send us a correction, and we will post it and correct ourselves. We'll apologize, and we'll have some fun. So, like I said before, like it might say in the words, on YouTube, you'll find us on the channel of Raging Imagineers. Our podcast is called Raging Imagination. You can contact us there, leave a comment, or you can send us an email at ragingimagination@gmail.com. Or you can check us out on Facebook. We have a page, Raging Imagination, or send off a message to our parent company, Infinite Imagination. So, cheers everyone. Oh, have a Merry Christmas.